Ground approach on 119 at ATC.
So the first contact is clearance. Okay, now expect either the clearance or the ground frequency to be handling this. So the pilot is gonna call whichever ground. So in our example, if we are speaking to Boston ground, you're gonna write Boston ground. In my case, my frequency was Sierra Papa 737 was my call sign. At stand, whatever stand you are in. Okay, make sure just to zoom out and see what stand numbers are given on near the plane and whatever gate you are in. Request clearance to whatever your arrival destination airport name is. Okay, make sure you pronounce it well. With information, the ATC information. Okay, so be sure to check the ATC frequency before you speak to the ground, right? The ground was gonna reply saying yours call sign. So Sierra Papa 737 cleared for LaGuardia via the PATS 5 departure as filed. Climb and maintain 7000. Departure frequency at 122.8, squawk 1013. So that's your data which you hear from the ground. Now, as I've written here a note, what you need to remember is note the important data. So when you are filing a flight plan, you would also obviously have a SID available, right? And a good practice is to just check all the SID available for a specific airport for a specific runway. So it's very easy to note that. Okay, write down the initial altitude, okay, the squawk code, the departure frequency, the runways, and ATC information level. That's, you just take a pen and paper and just write that down. Now I'm just gonna let out you must be thinking that that's so much information. Actually, this is the only part of the entire ATC combination which is actually a little difficult. After you're airborne, the entire process becomes very simple. So bear with me. The fact that SID you would already be knowing, so that's something that you can just relate to. And don't worry, even if your SID is wrong and you're not able to understand which SID or your charts are not updated, you could very well just speak to the ground, and he will definitely help you out with. Okay, now second contact clearance. Okay, so you've got the data, and I'm ensuring that I have captured these data properly. So I'm going to say cleared for LaGuardia via the whatever departure instruction SID is. For example, it could be PATS 5 departure as filed. Climb and maintain 5000. I'm just making things up. Okay, so climb and maintain 5000. Expect flight level 210 10 minutes after frequency. Departure frequency at 122.8 as squawk is 1304. Expect runway 06L for departure. Okay, so pretty simple. And trust me guys, it's not that I've been ATC flying for 10 years that I'm talking like this, and you'll actually see in my videos that I do make mistakes too, and the best part is the ATC makes mistakes too. So it's a give and take. Okay, so people are understanding, so don't worry too much about that. And after that, the ground is going to call you back and is going to say Sierra Papa 737 read back is correct, or if there is some changes, he will make sure he will give you that. Call when ready for push and start, or he might just say push back at your discretion, call me for taxi. All right, now that's a lot of theory. Let's switch to clip. 737 at E46 with information Juliet requesting clearance to Boston.
Alright, Sierra Papa 737, you're clear to the Boston Logan International Airport by the Newark 4 departure. Radar vector is merit and then is filed. Maintain 2500 with expect flight level 210 when 0 minutes after departure. Departure zone 128.55. Squawk 2317.
Cleared for Boston via New York 4 departure. Climb and maintain 2500. Departure frequency at 128.5. Squawk code 2317. Expect flight level 210 10 minutes after departure. Sierra Papa 737.
Sierra Papa 737, your readback is correct. Information echo is current. You can expect the 22 right of whiskey for departure today. You can call me back ready for taxi.
Alright, so we looked at the clearance. Now let's just look at push to taxi ground frequency again. Again, in some airports you might just the ground frequency might just say that pushback is at discretion, which basically means that you don't have to keep on calling the ground frequency and saying that allow me to start push and start, right? But for this case, we're gonna just assume that it's not a discretion, right? It's actually based on you taking the permission. So what is the phraseology? So again, whom you're talking to, right? Which is Boston ground, who you are, and what information you want. So it's going to be request person start. Now this communication is very easy. So ground is going to just reply Sierra Papa 737, which is who you are, push and start a push facing any direction. Okay, so don't worry too much about that. Direction basically means that most likely he's gonna make you push to the direction towards the runway. Okay, towards the most likely direction of your runway. So that's not much to worry. Call and when ready for taxi, and that's it, right? So open your airport charts and have a brief look before you call for taxi. Now that's the tricky part. Okay, again, as I said in my previous, before we looked at the clip, the most difficult part is still getting to the runway. After you're airborne, things become very simple. Okay, so my suggestion would be just open up airport charts. Okay, and let me see if I can just show you what I mean by that. All right, so as I said, it's a good idea to check the charts, and what I mean by that is, for example, if I'm at Boston, so I've just opened up Navigraph, my account, and I'm looking at the Boston info airport, and that's where these Navigraph charts really help. Okay, so they give you an amazing app, and it can be integrated with your plane, and you can just use it very easily. So for example, let's say we are let's say we are somewhere around parked around here, right? Just near A, okay, Alpha. Okay, I'm not going to open the gates, but for now this is the basic airport chart, right? Now let's say he clears us for 22 right. I know mostly that I'm gonna be given this direction, right? So from Alpha I'm gonna go to November. From November he's gonna get me to November 1, November 2, and whole shot of 22R. In between he's also going to give me an instruction that possibly what I could really predict his taxi instructions would be Sierra Papa 737 taxi via Alpha November cross 15R, or he might say whole shot of 15R, right? So if you say whole shot of 15R, that's it. So you're gonna just get till 15R, and then he's gonna follow up again. Else he's gonna say right away taxi via Alpha November whole shot of 15 cross 15 Romeo, whole shot of November 1. That's it, right? So it's a good idea to just have this basic understanding before you actually talk to the taxiway. It will help you in understanding better, and also will save both of your time. Yeah, Ground Sierra Papa 737 ready for push and start.
Sierra Papa 737, push and start is at your discretion. You can call me back when you're ready for taxi, home short of taxiway Alpha.
Whole shot of Alpha. So when you call the ground, right, you say who you are, again the same thing, whom you're talking to, which is Sierra Papa, Boston ground, who you are, Sierra Papa 737 ready for taxi. That's your phraseology, right? What's the information you want to give? Ready for taxi, right? and the ground will call back and say, Sierra Papa 730 taxi via whatever, right? Alpha Echo Zulu Bravo whole shot of 14 left, right? And what you do is in your pen and paper just write AEZB. First write it down, even if you don't know anything, just write it down, AEZB, and just write, just use shorthand, write short 14 left, and repeat that. Taxi via Alpha Echo Zulu Bravo whole shot of 14 left, Sierra Papa 737. Yeah, ground Sierra Papa 737 ready for taxi.
Right, Sierra Papa 737, your ground. It's going to be runway 22 right at Whiskey, taxi via left Bravo Romeo Whiskey, hold short runway 22 right.
Bravo Romeo Whiskey at hold short of 22, Sierra Papa 737. Alright, so I hope that was helpful, and now let's look at the takeoff part of it. Again, when you're taking off, the structure is similar. Whom you're talking to, who you are, what information you want to give, right? So for example, we are at Boston, so it's going to be Boston Tower, Sierra Papa 737 is my calling sign, holding short of 15 left or 22 right, wherever you are, ready for departure. Very important. Okay, so I have again covered the 3 W's, where whom you're talking to, who you are, what is the information you want to give. Okay, the tower is going to reply with your call sign, might give you some extra information on when the wind is flying from. So you might say Sierra Papa 737, wind at 330 at 70, fly heading 050, clear for takeoff. Now you might either repeat the wind and the heading, or you might just take the heading. Wind is optional, it's just for your information, and I'm sure you can look at in your own screen as well. So if it's a specific heading, I would repeat that. Okay, so I'm gonna take cleared Sierra Papa 737, cleared for takeoff, right? Fly heading 050, right? Or the next part is the tower might say, after you have you are airborne, you might say Sierra Papa 737 contact whatever departure frequency is, 122.8 frequency, bye bye, and you will just repeat that, contact 122.8 Sierra Papa 737, bye bye. So that's the takeoff and tower part of the entire ATC communication, and let's see how that works in reality. Yeah, departure Sierra Papa 737 ready for departure.
Sierra Papa 737, New York departure, fly the Newark 4 departure, wind 090 at 4, runway 22 right at Whiskey, clear for takeoff. Papa 737, contact New York departure 128.12.
128.12 Sierra Papa 737, bye bye. Now, as you must have noticed already, that things are becoming easier because there's not much information that you have to take, but still, for the sake of making the video entirely complete for you, so that you don't have to again keep on looking at other videos to see how you talk to certain frequencies, because you're gonna still cover that. So stick with me, bear with me, trust me, it will help you immensely. All right, so send a frequency. So once you are at Boston Center, so you're almost exiting the airspace. All right, and that's when you're gonna you've been, let's say, assigned a different frequency to let's say a center, right, a new frequency. So when it's a new frequency, right, how do you introduce yourself? So for example, you were talking to Boston Center, and now suddenly you have been assigned let's say New York Center. That's a new person, right? So in that case, what I do is again the same W's. The first W is whom you're talking to. So if it's New York Center, who you are, it's similar. And what information you, now this is very critical, right? Just like when you were talking to ground, you were telling them where you were, and the similar thing you're going to repeat here. So you have to tell what flight level you are, currently and what flight level you are climbing to. What is the next closest waypoint and how far is it? So it's going to look something like this. New York Center, Sierra Papa 737 with you at flight level 7000, climbing to 21,000, inbound Merit, 60 nautical miles. So that could be your first contact with a new frequency. That's complete information. The tower is going to first either say Sierra Papa 737 radar contact, climb flight level 210, and so basically it's done, right? So you just repeat climb to flight level 210 Sierra Papa 737. After that, the tower might just give you another frequency again. So Sierra Papa 737 contact, let's say New York approach 125.8, right? And you would just repeat the call sign, say bye bye, and it's over. Let's see how that works in reality with New York approach. Sierra Papa 737 with you at 6,000, inbound 0 through 7, 61 nautical miles away from Merit.
Sierra Papa 737 New York approach. Good afternoon. Turn right heading 06. Correction 080. Climb and maintain 10,000.
080. Flight level 10,000. Thank you. So I hope that live clip did make things simpler for you. Once you are again in the same, you've contacted the approach, more or less the process is going to be same. Okay, what I'm going to just add on some tips is what will be different compared to when you were taking off. Okay, so with the approach, initial contact will be same as center. Comply with information, repeat. Mostly during your finals, it's just going to be repeating information and complying with it. Okay, tower will be with you till you touch down, so don't worry. If you can, during the final part of it, do note down the ground frequency if there is any. Okay, you will be clear to land. Okay, approach will get you aligned to the runway, but after aligning you to the runway for your finals, the tower will take over. And while making first contact with tower, you should use the same principle, which is in this case you're just going to replace that with tower. You're going to see your call sign and you're going to say established. That's where I have put in the information. If it's an ILS landing, you're going to say established on ILS, and if you see the airport, you can see that the field is in sight, right? And he's just gonna say you'll be clear, Sierra Papa sends and you're clear to land, ground frequency at 122.8, whatever, right? And be sure to check the taxi routes again at the arrival airport. Boston Center Sierra Papa 737 requesting descent.
It's 1014 for spacing to Boston, maintain 280 knots.
Maintain 280 knots, UPS 1014.
2680 for space to maintain 280 knots.
280 knots, JetBlue 2680.
Sierra Papa 737 descend via the Roebuck 3 arrival, runway 4 right, Boston altimeter 301. Or I'm sorry, Sierra Papa 737 clear direct to Roebuck first, direct to Roebuck.
Direct to Roebuck, Sierra Papa 737.
Papa 737 descend via the Roebuck 3 arrival, runway 4 right, Boston altimeter 302, correction 3012.
Descend via Roebuck 3 arrival, Boston altimeter 3012, Sierra Papa 737.
Papa 737, contact Boston approach 133.0.
133.0, Sierra Papa 737, thank you. Boston approach Sierra Papa 737, descending via the Roebuck 3 arrival, descending to flight level 1000, inbound Judy 8 nautical miles.
Sierra Papa 737 Boston approach information, Papa's current altimeter is 3012.
Information is Papa, ultimate is 3012, Sierra Papa 737.
Sierra Papa 737, at Goshi, cleared ILS for my 4 right approach.
Cleared 04, ILS approach, Sierra Papa 737.
Bridge 7 Papa Whiskey, cross 737, 180 knots or greater to Milk Towers 128.8.
180, Sierra Papa 737.
Go to
Boston Tower, good afternoon, Sierra Papa 737, established on ILS 04 right approach.
Right, Sierra Papa 737, Boston Tower, good evening, runway 4 right, clear to land.
Runway 4 right, clear to land, Sierra Papa 737. That's basically the entire whole game of ATC flying, and I hope that helps to you. I hope the video is of some help to you, and if it really did help, right, do share, do press the subscribe button, so that gives me a lot of motivation to make such videos again, and do like it, and do share your comments, and if you have any questions, please do put it in the comments box. I would love to answer that, and as always, from Flight Deck, I will always come with simplified solutions to all the simming problems and challenges. And so thank you so much for watching this video. I'll see you again. Bye bye.